Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us for today's webinar, the High Performance Digital Front Office. My name is Rod Hodgman, and I'll be presenting a few slides, and then Jeff Kalicki will come on and show some of the amazing data capture applications our customers are developing, and then he'll give us a short demo of the Avoka Transact solution. Let's get started. Let's get started by getting a little perspective on the amazing changes that have occurred over the last 5 years. When we look at devices, we can see we're moving from desktops and laptops to tablets and smartphones, which means user interfaces are going from keyboard and mouse to touch, voice, and gesture. And the dominant operating system is transitioning from Windows to Apple's iOS and Google's Android. In the area of network connectivity, we've gone from occasionally connected when you're at your computer to always connected because your smart device is always with you. In the area of interactive forms, we've gone from XFA PDF, which was the gold standard just a few years ago for interactive forms working across browsers, to HTML5 forms that work across all browsers and all devices. And in the area of business transactions, which is what we're going to talk about today, we're seeing a transition from paper and static electronic forms to all digital interactive applications that run on any device. The fact is, the growth in mobile and e-commerce is creating a new normal. Customers increasingly expect to be able to do anything and everything online, that every interaction is available as an engaging digital experience, and that all digital experiences are optimized for the device in use. Let's look at how mobile is becoming what many are calling the new face of engagement. At the recent Mobile World Congress, Gary Kovacs, the CEO of Mozilla, summed up the Internet's growth this way: while it took 22 years for the first 2 billion people to connect to the Internet, the next 2 billion users will be coming online in the next 5 years. The big news is that the majority of this growth will come from mobile devices. Consider the following statistics. In 2013, shipments of smartphones and tablets passed 1 billion units. That's from Gartner. In 2014, shipments of tablets will pass shipments of notebooks. That's from Merrill Lynch. And as we can see in the graphic on this slide, in 2014, mobile internet users will exceed desktop internet users. As we can see here, mobile is becoming the dominant point of entry for all users. The shift to mobile brings with it significant changes in user expectations and behaviors. According to a recent Harris Interactive survey, today's mobile users have high expectations and little tolerance for poor experiences. Of the mobile users surveyed, 47% expect the mobile experience to be better than a call center or branch office visit. 43% who experience a problem will abandon the transaction, and 78% who experience problems will share those experiences with others. The breathtaking growth in smart mobile devices and results from surveys like the Harris Interactive survey here tell us that the growth in mobile is much more than a platform shift. It's a fundamental transition to a new level of ease of use, simplicity, and above all, convenience. There was a lot of attention paid to a June 2011 Goldman Sachs report on e-commerce that predicted that worldwide e-commerce sales would reach $963 billion by 2013, growing at an annual rate of 19.4%. The report stated that the e-commerce market was benefiting from several positive trends, including the continued rollout of broadband, increasing user comfort shopping online, and the decline of certain brick-and-mortar retailers. It turns out the report was wrong. The global e-commerce market sales crossed the $1 trillion mark in 2012, a year earlier than originally predicted. E-commerce was initially driven by the convenience of global shopping from your computer. Now it's being driven by the convenience of global shopping from any location and at any time. Just as with mobile, the growth in e-commerce is a fundamental transition to new levels of simplicity, ease of use, and again, above all, convenience. Now let's look at the impact the growth of mobile and e-commerce has on our digital strategy. To understand this, we have to look at the customer journey from the organizational perspective, and that journey can be broken down into 3 steps. The discovery phase, where the customer is researching for products and services, the transaction phase, when the customer purchases a product or service, and the management phase, when the organization continuously supports and engages the clients for future sales. The transaction is the moment of truth when an individual applies, purchases, enrolls, registers, claims, or does anything that initiates an internal process that makes them a customer. There are 2 types of transactions, digital and analog. There are simply commerce transactions, which are digital today, but only suitable for the sale of retail products. All other business transactions are either delivered today by costly custom developed applications or as analog experiences, which are paper or static PDF forms, call center interactions, or branch office visits. The experience every organization and customer wants is a seamless end-to-end digital experience available on any device. The experience every organization delivers and every customer experiences is a disjointed experience that more often than not exits the digital realm and enters the analog realm whenever the customer needs to transact. It robs the user of the convenience of being able to use their devices, and it prevents the organization from collecting the valuable analytics on the transaction that they need to ensure the customer experience is being optimized. The growth in mobile and e-commerce are forcing organizations to provide all digital experiences that allow their customers to do anything and everything online, using the device of their choice. Industry analysts are using the terms digital edge and the digital front office to describe the transformation to an all-digital experience. A digital front office is a digital channel that enables customers to do everything online. It's achieved by replacing all analog experiences with engaging digital experiences that run everywhere. A digital front office transforms business processes and customer experiences to create value for the organization. A digital front office can have a transformational impact in an organization in two ways. First, by improving competitive or market position. Delivering the all-digital experience that more and more customers seek enables organizations to leverage the digital channel to attract new customers, increase the loyalty, satisfaction, and retention rates of existing customers, and generate more revenue. It also provides an opportunity for improving operating performance. Eliminating non-digital activities from customer-facing business processes has been shown to significantly decrease operating costs, increase data quality, and provide opportunities to reduce cycle times. What I'd like to do today is look at some of the real-world cost examples developed by the UK government. The United Kingdom government has put together a fascinating site that details the volume of transactions that they provide their constituents, their citizens, and many times the costs associated with providing those transactions. This is the URL up here at the top of the page, transactionexplorer.cabinetoffice.gov.uk. I encourage you to go there yourself and check out the site. And as you drill down on the site, it will show you graphically the amount of transactions each department is responsible for. So here we can see that HM Revenue and Customs, which is their tax office, does almost 1 trillion transactions, whereas the Department for Transportation up here in green does about 100 million transactions per year. And what's even more fascinating is they provide spreadsheets that drill down, that provide you the transactions per year, the cost per transaction, and then you can calculate the cost per year for each of those transactions. So here we can see there's a transaction for the Department of Work and Pensions that's delivered over 23 million times per year. It costs them $53 a transaction to deliver that transaction in the analog channel, and it results in over $1 billion of annual costs. And you can go right on down and you can look at these transactions run from a high of, it looks like, $73 down to a low of $1.37, and the transaction volumes differ. But you can see that these costs are astronomically high. And so if you look at these costs and you say, I'm going to move these to the digital channel, and you assume you're not going to get 100% effectiveness, let's say you're going to get 75% or 50%, then if we look at that same transaction that was costing over $1 billion a year, if you were able to drive 75% of those to a complete digital channel where there's no missing information and no errors, that would return $925 million annually to the organization. If you only got 50% of those transactions across to the digital channel, it's still a $600 million annual savings. And this is what Forrester calls, when they look at the usability of websites, how assisted transactions are so expensive that even small moves of analog transactions to the digital channel pay back in big results. So we can see that the cost of delivering analog transactions is incredibly high. So what's the holdup? If the payoff is so big, why isn't everything digital today? Well, most transactions are analog for a really good reason. And that is because they are more complex and longer and more detailed than simply commerce transactions. They also generally require additional features such as save and resume, automated receipts, attachments, information from multiple parties, or signature workflows. And these requirements have made them very difficult and costly to move to the digital channel, and as a result, only the highest value and highest volume transactions have been moved across. And this is why we created the Avoka Transact platform. Avoka Transact has been enabling organizations to quickly give their customers the ability to transact online using the device of their choice for the past 5 years. Avoka Transact completes your journey to the digital front office. The depth of functionality built into Avoka Transact from the experience of hundreds of client projects means that we can deliver results in days or weeks, not months or years. I'd like to turn it over to Jeff now, who's going to take us through some great demos of what customers have been building with Avoka Transact, and then he'll show us how easy it is to build some of those applications yourself.